Now for our story. It was shortly before dinner time in Ben Calvert's luxurious home. The family had returned late in the afternoon from the trial in Huntsville, in which Kit's ex-husband, Bill Meade, was attempting to gain custody of the baby boy his wife had taken from Lisa Fenner and presented to him as their son. Kit had gone directly to her own apartment on their return, had bathed and changed into a becoming green linen gown. Now, looking cool and refreshed, she entered her father's study, where the French windows stand open, admitting a pleasant breeze from the terrace. Her stepmother, Jessie, is already there, sipping a highball.
Hello, Jessie. My, it's nice and cool down here, isn't it? Will you have a drink, too? Oh, yes, I believe I will, thank you. A soda or ginger ale? Soda, please. Here you are, Kit. Thank you, Jessie. You make a charming hostess. Do you really think so? Yes, of course. Nice to find you in such an amiable mood. Not that I'm surprised. You have good reason to be. Yes, indeed. Things went beautifully in court today. We have an excellent lawyer, I have a loyal father, and an exceptionally dutiful stepmother. Why shouldn't I be cheerful? I'm glad you realize your blessings, Kit. Oh, I do. But you really had me fooled, Jessie. Frankly, I expected you to get up on that stand and cut my throat. Did you? You know, the way you've been talking these last few months. All your hints, vague threats, and just to fool you, I got up there and painted you little white with a beautiful shining halo around your head. How was I, Kit? I hope I was convinced. Oh, you were. Very. Thank you. I thought it was quite a good performance myself. Of course, I realize why you decided to throw your weight in on my side. I imagine you do. That doesn't lessen the fact that I did stand up for you, though. No, that's what's so lovely about it. I enjoyed listening to your testimony twice as much, knowing how you would have liked to throw me to the wolves, if you dared. It's lucky for me Dad has you in a position to do what he wants. Well, frankly, Kit, even if I faced the fact that testifying against you would ruin me with Ben, even so, it was a dreadful temptation. Poor Jessie. You really must have suffered up there on the stand. I did. I hated every minute of it. Well, never mind. It's practically all over now. Just be patient, Jessie. Maybe you'll have better luck next time. That's exactly what I'm counting on. Sooner or later, I'll have my innings, Kit. Don't worry your pretty little head about it.
About worrying?
No, nothing, Dad, nothing. Jessie and I have just been talking about what happened this afternoon. Jessie was just telling me how glad she is it's working out so nicely.
She was? Yeah, doesn't sound like you, Jessie. Have you turned over a new leaf?
Perhaps I have, Ben.
Well, I must say I enjoyed myself today anyway. It did my heart good to see Farnsworth making a monkey out of Angus McKillop.
Oh, I'd hardly say he made a monkey out of him. By the way, Dad, how did Farnsworth feel about Bill's hitting him on the jaw?
Well, he took it in his stride. Said it would do Bill more harm in the long run than it would ever do him.
Well, you know, he had it coming to him. He was making some rather nasty implications about Peggy Douglas.
Nothing she didn't deserve.
Oh, Peggy's a simple little thing, but she's a nice child. No harm in her. That's what you think. Why, Kit, you don't really believe there's any truth in what Farnsworth was saying about Peggy and Bill, do you? Well, why shouldn't I? Just because Peggy pretends to be so innocent. Personally, I thought it was rather touching the way Bill defended her honor. It certainly indicated that he has a very deep feeling for Peggy.
Well, whether he has or not, he's in hot water now. He's lucky Hiram Willoughby didn't clamp him into jail for contempt of court, disrupting things the way he did.
You weren't any too respectful toward the judge yourself, then.
Why should I be? Why, I could buy Hiram Willoughby out lock, stock, and barrel if I wanted to.
But there's such a thing as justice. Law and order, you know, Ben.
Look who's talking. But it's no use trying to rile me tonight, Jessie. I'm feeling much too cheerful to let you get under my skin.
Yes, I believe you are. I think what delights you is seeing yourself as Farnsworth makes you out. Innocent, mistreated.
Well, after the attitude a lot of people in this town have had toward me, it is a pleasant change.
Oh, don't mind Jessie, Dad. She's feeling rather frustrated. Like a cat who caught a canary and then let it get away.
What's that? What canary has Jessie?
Have a little bit putting my house together then. Oh, really? Very proud of. Isn't it, Philip? Then, how much longer do you think it'll take to round the whole place up?
Oh, I imagine we'll be through with it tomorrow. And then we'll really have Bill Meade right where we want him. Bill and Mary Lane and her precious niece. And the whole crew of them.
So what do you mean, then? I don't see why losing the custody suit.
Don't forget, Ripple. People in this town aren't going to feel very friendly toward Bill after the things Farnsworth brought out. If David Bowman is foolish enough to keep him on at the bank, he's going to find out he'll lose a lot of business.
I don't see why. That means that some people would prefer not to have their business affairs handled by a man who seems to be so unreliable, shall we say, in his private life. Isn't that it, Ben?
Exactly.
Oh, Ben. How can you stand there with that holier-than-thou attitude? Don't tell me you really believe all this business Farnsworth has been handing out about you and yours being maligned.
We have been, haven't we? Look at how Kit suffered all through this thing. Losing weight, getting nervous and ill. All because he wants to retain custody of his son. That's the truth.
Oh, good heavens. I believe you've really convinced yourself.
I didn't have to convince myself, Jessie. It's just plain fact.
Then, in a way, I think both you and Kit have missed a very important point.
What's that?
Well, seems to me the trial showed Kit in a none too sympathetic light. A woman who couldn't hold her husband's love. Oh, look out, Dad. Jeffrey's about to show her claws. No, I'm not being catty. Just objective. Well, look at it this way. Kit divorced Bill, true, but on the other hand, by Bill's own testimony, he refused to live in this house with you, then. And naturally, when Kit refused to live here, live in the house he provided, well, it just wasn't worth it to him. I mean, he chose the lesser of two evils, the separation. Of course, it may be that his feelings for Peggy Douglas had something to do with it. For my part, I always have believed he never stopped loving Peggy. All the time Kit and she were married. I suppose it's useless for me to point out, Jeffrey, that I'm in a much better position to know about that than you are. Maybe you are, Kit, but I'm entitled to my opinion.
Sometimes, Jeffrey, I think you'd do a lot better to keep your opinions to yourself. Did I enjoy that little scene today? The way Mary Lane beat it out of the courtroom.
What do you mean, Dad? I didn't notice.
Didn't you see her? All of a sudden, she got this funny look on her face and dashed right out in the middle of things. And I'll tell you why. She just couldn't take anymore, so she funked it. Lost her nerve completely. I imagine we've taught Mary Lane a thing or two.
And on a train bound for Chicago, Aunt Mary is thinking.
We're almost into Chicago. Soon now, I'll be seeing Lisa. Soon how quickly things can change. Just a few hours ago, in the courtroom, Fogle mentioned that Lisa had known Kit in California. All of a sudden, I realized the truth, that the baby is Lisa. It is Kit's at all. Poor Bill. He is so protected, fatherly about the child. Lisa's got to come back to Wakefield with me. If she's reconciled with her husband, that's where the baby should be, with his own father and mother. If only I can make Lisa see, make her understand what she is doing. They'll say she won't listen to her. Oh, if she would only listen to me.
Aunt Mary, anxious, worried, as she arrives in Chicago. Yes, Aunt Mary, a great deal hangs on what you hope to accomplish when you talk to Lisa Fenner. Try to persuade her to assume the responsibility of what she has done. But I wonder if you will be on time, for Lisa is packed and ready to leave for New York with her husband, Lance. Lance, who has no idea that he is the father of the baby son Kit Meade has claimed as her own. Now for our story. It was quite late. Del Shipley's apartment was cool and restful in the soft glow of the lamplight. A pleasant breeze came through the open window near which Del sat with her old friend, Mary Lane. Aunt Mary had arrived a few minutes earlier after a hurried departure from Wakefield. She had come to talk to Lisa Fenner, whose baby son was the center of a custody suit between Kit Calvert and Bill Meade, who believes the child to be his own. Aunt Mary hoped to persuade Lisa to claim her son. Now she leans forward anxiously.
You don't think Lisa's already gone to New York? Oh, yes, Mary, I do. I'm very much afraid Lisa and Lance have checked out. I've been trying to reach them all evening over at Lily's apartment, but they didn't answer. Well, that's why I'm so worried. It may be too late. Well, let's try to call her again. Okay, Mary, it won't hurt to try. Oh, I do hope she's there. No answer. But there must be somewhere. Oh, I don't know. If they've already taken the train, I suppose we could place them somehow, but finding someone in New York, well, it would take time. But there isn't time. Tomorrow's the last day of Bill's trial, and it's just plain bad luck, I'm afraid, Mary. Oh, I wish I knew what to suggest, but frankly, I'm stumped. If only I had come to Chicago sooner. Oh, but you couldn't foresee what was going to happen. And if Lily hadn't started you thinking from what she said... I know. And yet I've had this feeling all along about Lisa. But the idea that the baby might be hers... Well, it was such a fantastic idea. Oh, I know. Naturally, it wouldn't occur to you unless you had some kind of a lead. I was wondering, you could probably present the evidence in court. Yes, I could, but I wouldn't feel right about it doing it that way. It should come from Lisa herself. It's such a serious charge to make. If Lisa were there to tell her story in her own way, that would be different. Yeah. Besides, Kit Calvert would always deny the whole thing. I mean, unless Lisa were there to prove the child is hers. Yes, that's so. There's no question but what she would, from what I've heard of her. I doubt that she'd give an inch unless she were absolutely cornered. After all the trouble she went to getting hold of Lisa's baby, she's not going to give up without a struggle. And I think of that courtroom tomorrow. Bill's so worried about the baby. Peggy being... Yeah, so many people mixed up in the thing. Lance, the baby's own father, not knowing he has a son. That makes it all worse. So Lisa did go back to Lance finally. I hoped she would all along. But I had no idea. Well, she was afraid to at first, and I couldn't figure out why the way she talked. You could tell she was in love with the guy, and until I knew about the baby, and I naturally didn't understand what was holding her back. But it's strange, Bill, for Lisa to deceive him, not tell him that he is a father. It doesn't sound like her somehow. Lisa is basically an honorable person. Oh, yes, but you see, Mary, she does love him a great deal. And she's gone through such a lot of heartache and mixed up with Kit, bringing herself to give the baby up and all that. And from what I gather, she's decided she has a right to happiness with Lance. And she's sure if she told him the truth, he'd leave her. Oh, it is a dreadful situation for her. But if she only realized how foolish it is, trying to build a new life with her husband on lies. It could only lead to unhappiness for both of them. Oh, I tried to make her see it that way, Mary. But I didn't even get the first base. Maybe you could if you had a chance to talk to her. Oh, but the way it looks now, your hands are tied, too. Yes, it does. And yet, somehow I just can't believe it was meant to turn out this way. That so many young people were intended to be unhappy. Something's got to happen, though. Well, I hate to discourage you, Mary, but I don't see what could happen now, short of a miracle. If Lisa's on her way to New York, why... Yes. Well, I don't suppose there's anything we can do. And yet, somehow, I just can't give up, Bill. I just can't. Just think of something.
And at that moment, the young woman upon whom Aunt Mary's thoughts were concentrated was sitting beside her husband as he drove his rented car slowly through the streets. They had left Lily's apartment with their luggage several hours before train time, for Lisa was restless, anxious to be on their way. Now, Lance says, "Sure you haven't changed your mind, darling?"
Changed? About what, Lance?
About leaving Chicago. Got a nice little setup here. In a way, we might do better stay for a while.
Oh,
So-
no. I don't want to stay, Lance. Really.
Okay, sweetheart. I just wanted to remind you there's still time. You could cancel our reservation.
No. You don't understand. I want to get out of Chicago. I'm not sure I ever want to come back.
No, I don't get it. You never used to like being uprooted, traipsing all over the country. Remember how you used to say you'd like to have a nice little apartment, live like human beings?
Yes, I know. I still feel that way. But we can settle down in New York.
We may not have it easy right at first, you know. Everything's crowded. Well, we'll be lucky if we don't wind up sleeping on a park bench.
I don't mind. Just so long as we're away from here.
Okay, then. I guess we better get this jalopy back to the garage. We've plenty of time. I have a bite to eat and still have a half an hour to get to the station. And say, come to think of it, I'm starved. Tell him there's a package of cigarettes in the glove compartment. Hand me one, will you, please?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it'll help me forget how hungry I am.
Here.
Okay, now some matches. Oh, darn it, I haven't a one. See if you can find
I
some.
think I have some in my bag. I used to carry them for Lily. You never seem to have any. Oh, dear, how could I be so
What's the matter?
Lily, please, here they are in my bag. I meant to leave them with the manager at the apartment.
Oh, what's the difference? We can put them in an envelope and mail them from the station.
I don't like to do that, Lance. You might get lost. Seems as if the least I can do is be sure Lily has her keys, till she comes up to the city for a weekend.
Well, okay. It does seem a nuisance that you're driving all the way back. Say, why don't we take them around and leave them at the Golden Peacock?
Yes, we could do that, but...
But what?
Well, I don't particularly want to see Dell. In fact, I'd much rather not.
But you won't have to see her, my little warrior. The Peacock's closed on Mondays, isn't it?
That's right. So it is.
You can just give him to the janitor. Maybe he'll be puttering around somewhere. Tell him to hand him over to Mrs. Shipley in the morning, okay?
That's a good idea, Lance. I would feel a lot better, being sure Lily won't be inconvenienced.
Righto. It'll just take us about 5 minutes to get there.
I won't be a minute, Lance, if I can find Tony. I'll go around to the back entrance. Tony's probably working in the storeroom. Silly for me to be so nervous about seeing Dell. Somehow I just hate to face her. I know she doesn't approve of what I'm doing. I couldn't make her understand. But she couldn't stop me from leaving. And it isn't as if I hadn't thought the whole thing over again and again. I'm doing what I want to do. Lance and I will be happy. Baby, Wakefield, Chip. I'll forget all about it. I hope this door isn't locked. Oh, thank goodness. Tony! Tony! I don't hear him. Maybe. Tony!
Hello down there. Looking for someone?
Yes, I was looking for Tony.
What do you want?
There's something I wanted to leave with him.
Lisa, is that you?
Yes. It's I, Dell.
Well, come on up.
I can't. I have to.
Lisa, there's something I have to tell you now. Please, come up.
All right, Dell. You see, Dell, I'm just going to... That is, I haven't much time.
Come in, Lisa. I have a visitor who'd like to talk to you.
But... Oh. Aunt Mary.
Hello, Lisa.
The young dancer entered the room hesitantly, white-faced, but Aunt Mary's heart filled with thankfulness. Perhaps, after all, her mission, the reason she'd come to Chicago, was not to be a failure. But I wonder, Aunt Mary, if you can persuade Lisa Fenner to give up her own chance for happiness, for a new life with her husband Lance, who is outside waiting for her at this minute. Now for our story. It was almost 11 at night. In Dell Shipley's apartment above her nightclub in Chicago, a young woman, Lisa Fenner, stood white-faced and trembling as she confronted Aunt Mary Lane. Dell had spoken a few words to the young dancer when she arrived, and then had gone quietly to the adjoining room. Downstairs, in a car parked outside, Lisa's husband is waiting for her. Their bags were packed. In another hour, they were to be at the station, boarding a train to New York, going away from all the reminders of the past which Lisa was resolved to forget. A past which the young woman feared Aunt Mary would not allow her to forget. Now Lisa stands hesitant near the doorway, as Aunt Mary says,
Come in, Lisa. I don't mean to be rude, Aunt Mary, but I only have a moment.
Oh, that's too bad, Lisa. It's been quite a while since we've seen each other. A great many things have been happening in Wakefield, you know.
I know. I didn't.
First of all, there's this custody suit that Bill needs.
Oh, yes. Yes, Dell mentioned it.
It's been a trying time for all of us, as you can imagine.
Yes, it must be.
We'd all put so much hope in Bill's lawyer. But things aren't turning out very well. Quite a long story. I only wish you had more time. I'd tell you all about it.
I wish I did too, Aunt Mary. But you see, I have to be somewhere. Someone's waiting for me downstairs, and we have an appointment. That is, we're going...
I see. It's Lance who's waiting for you, isn't it, Lisa?
Yes.
Bill mentioned that you and your husband were together again.
Yes, Aunt Mary, we are. After the talks we had when you were visiting us in Wakefield, I'm rather surprised you didn't write to me about it, Lisa. Well, it happened so recently, but I'm sorry. I should have, of course. I always thought from the things you told me that it would be a wonderful thing if you two could be together again. But I had the impression that something was holding you back. I can see you've changed your mind about that. Yes, I did. And, you and Lance have decided to make a life together. Yes. Lisa, are you happy? Why, yes, of course we are. Are you quite sure? Yes, I am. Lance and I are very happy. I hate to say this, Lisa, but frankly, I don't believe that's true. I don't know what you mean. I think you do. I think you know why I'm surprised you can say you're happy about returning to your husband. But Aunt Mary, when I was in Wakefield, you urged me to go back to Lance. You said you believed that two people who loved each other should be together. And when I came back to Chicago and saw Lance, I decided you were right. But real love, Lisa, is completely honest love. Don't you think that's right? Of course, but I don't understand you. Aunt Mary, we have to do what seems best to us, don't we? That's what you say you believe. And that's what I've done. Now I wish I could say, but I really must... Wait, Lisa. Yes, I have said we all must do what seems best, what we know in our hearts to be the right thing. But I wonder if you believe going back to your husband is right, considering the reservations you've made. Reservations? I don't know why you should think that. I love Lance, Aunt Mary, and he loves me. Isn't that enough? But whether it is or not, it's done now, and he's waiting for me. Lisa, so is your baby. So is your baby. My... Yes. I might have known. Belle promised, but I should have realized... No, Lisa. It wasn't Belle who told me. Belle kept her promise to you. It wasn't only one person as far as that goes. It was just a series of little things. Doesn't really matter how you found out, Aunt Mary. So? No. When I guessed the boy is yours, I just had to come. You realize that, don't you? Yes. I know, Aunt Mary. Of course you thought you had to. But I'm sorry you shouldn't have. I shouldn't have? Why do you say that? You must have talked to Belle since you got here. Yes. Then Phyllis has told you how I feel, what I've decided. Yes. Yes, Belle told me. But I hoped you'd see how impossible it is, what you've decided to do. You can't forget about that baby, Lisa. It's yours. You'd be bound to think about him. Well, no, the baby isn't mine anymore, Aunt Mary. I gave him up to Kit. I know the whole story about that, Lisa. How you happened to give Kit your child. I know how distressed you were there in California. People hurt you, you were frightened, and so you let Kit persuade you to give her your baby. I didn't know what else to do. Now, it's too late. I promised Lance, and if I told him, he'd never forgive me. There's only one thing for me to do now, to go ahead and forget the past. But Lisa, you can't. Because you love your child. But that doesn't change it. You don't understand. There's Lance now. I love him. All the more reason why you must be honest with him. The baby's own father. Aunt Mary, when Lance first came to me, wanted us to be together again, I sent him away. I felt as you do, that the past was done between us. I tried. But then he pleaded with me, told me it didn't matter what had happened since we were apart. I couldn't believe you again, Aunt Mary. I love him too much. More than you love your child? No. No, I can't say that. I do love my child. I can't deny it, but just the same... Lisa, if you love your child, don't you see there's only one thing for you to do? Nothing else matters compared with the child's welfare. Lance has a right to know he's a father, too. That's another thing. But think, Lisa. Right now, your baby is the center of a custody suit. It's true Bill Meade is devoted to the baby. He loves him, believing the child is his. But Bill's losing that case, Lisa. The child will be awarded the trip. And whatever bargain you've made, it's not binding. Not in comparison with your child's welfare. But she promised. She told me to give my baby a good home. Perhaps she intends to from just the material side. But important things. The love which belonged to him from his own mother. A true home. Please, Aunt Mary. It's no use. I don't want to listen. Is it because you're afraid to? Because you know deep down in your heart that what you're trying to hide from... Yes, I am afraid. I've been unhappy so long, Aunt Mary. It's as if I was drained, exhausted. Now I just want to be peaceful. But you won't be. Not this way. I know how difficult it's been. I know because I believe you do love your baby. That's why you went to Wakefield. Big trip to give him back. That's why you were so miserable the day of the accident, when Randy found you at the bridge. But now you're closing your eyes, trying to escape. And you can't, Lisa. It's impossible. It may seem impossible to you, Aunt Mary. But it's all I can do. I promised Lance now and... But Lisa, Lance is your child's father. You're deceiving me. He'd never forgive me if I told him the truth. I don't dare. You're trying to base your whole future on a lie. I can't help it. It's all I can do. I'm sorry, Aunt Mary. I've made up my mind and I'm not going to change it. I can't.
There was a desperate tone in Lisa's voice, like that of a person who has painfully climbed up from some depth, only to feel the solid ground give way beneath his feet again. Aunt Mary felt a great compassion for the girl, but she knew Lisa must face the consequences of giving up her baby for the sake of the boy's future. But could Aunt Mary persuade Lisa to do it? Or is Lisa's answer a final one?